Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Rapid Chess here, and today we will look at the game between Firouzja and Sasikiran. Yesterday, Firouzja beat with white Nair, and today again he played white and beat another Indian Grandmaster veteran. So, pretty good result. Tomorrow, Firouzja plays Fabiano, and he needs a draw. I don't think he will try to somehow play Fabi. Just draw is a good way to continue fight for these candidates. And 10 players with 5.5. Hard to say who is, except for Vashela Grav, I think they're pretty equal strength right now. Alright, so let's see the game. Again, Alireza is playing whites. Knight f3, bishop c4, so no Berlin. c3, covering the d4 square. Knight f6, d3, castles, castles. So in this position, d6 is, let's say, the main move. a5 also possibility to play bishop to a7. And black plays d5. I think it's the most committing move for black because the game becomes really sharp and there is no so much maneuvering. You have to memorize a lot of moves. Takes, rook e1. So black is ahead, I think, in space. They have the center pawn, and white counterattacks immediately against this pawn, and f6 is not what you want to play with black, because then this bishop becomes even more dangerous. So a lot of pros and cons for this variation. Bishop g4, very logical, developing move, and pinning this knight. Knight d2, and knight b6, danger move, which I don't really like. I don't know, I want to play knight f4 and push this pawn, but Angel says so, and of course Angel plays really well this kind of positions. h3, bishop h5, and bishop to b3. I don't know whether it was bluff by Firouzja, but he played immediately, and we just can see that this pawn is hanging. Angel actually just takes this pawn and asks what white is doing next move, because if bishop c2, then bishop f3, and really hard to find a move for white. If we take here, then takes, and the position is white has nothing, white is pawn down. So when your opponent is like really in top shape, beating everyone, and he just hangs this pawn, then sometimes players just don't take it because they think that there is some novelty prepared. But Angel says that it's just a blunder. So after good thought, Krishnan played king h8, preparing to move this f-pawn. Knight e4, now pawn is protected by the queen. Knight d7, and like I said, when you have this quite ugly knight on b6, you need to spend tempi on it, and bishop cannot move back, but that's what ancient tells us to do, so that's what we do. Bishop d5, that move wouldn't cross my mind, I think, because kind of it's on good square and you put it under a lot of threats, but it appears that really hard to it's unpleasant, just like you threatening to ruin this pawn structure, and you cannot move the knight because this pawn is hanging. f5. Again, Krishnan thought for a long time here, and he was down more than 30 minutes. This is very, again, committal move. Angel just plays bishop d6, which you don't want to play, but you can play bishop b6 and just go for this longer game, try to, you know, not to blunder pieces, not to blunder some attacks, but this f5 move just opens the position of black. Knight g5, and now this e6 square is a problem. h6, forcing white to play knight e6. The idea of this h6, I assume, is not to allow bishop g5 with tempo developing. You don't want to give this to your opponent. Queen f6, he took, and d4. This is actually the only move which keeps white's advantage. Yeah. What I think about black's play is that again he convinced himself that he cannot win with some boring play and trying to draw. Yeah, he gave up an exchange, but he is kind of active, and this move just shuts down this activity because it forces exchanges, or it forces black to play bishop b6, and not sure how to deal with this, that this bishop is not in play anymore. So Krishnan played d4, like counterattacking, takes the bishop, and knight e4, using this pin. If white plays something like bishop f4, then knight f3 takes, and bishop f3, and actually black is winning, close to winning. Yeah, white has to give up the queen and play this position where obviously black has huge advantage. So white has to be careful, and he wins with a very nice combination, giving up the queen. Knight takes, knight d7, queen to d8. It was a fork for rook and knight, and here important to play bishop c6 first, because if you take here, then it's queen d7, and white cannot capture this bishop because rook is hanging. So so you have to capture first here, rook e8, and bishop to f4. So white has a lot of material, 2 pieces, and rook against queen. And important that white's king is perfectly safe, and I think black's king is not that good, because knight will jump, give different kind of checks, and so on. So I have story about this material advantage. When I played once an opponent in Latvian team championships, and I got on move 5, I got a winning position, extra pawn, and I was outplaying my opponent until the position where I could get this material advantage, so to speak. Yeah, just knight, bishop, and rook against the queen, and I went for it, and I lost the game. And after the game, this my opponent told me that should I play any other move, he would resign. But this piece arrangement just gave black so much counterplay that he managed to win. So this is not the case. Actually, white is perfectly safe, and his pieces are very well coordinated. Firouzja takes the pawn, but the rest is easy, I must say. There was nothing really spectacular. Bishop f4, you don't want to allow some pushes on the king side. b4, rook f1, proposing exchange, and he takes it. He plays here, then king h2, and engine suggests that after bishop these pieces are arranged perfectly, and black cannot get near the king. So they exchange the pieces. c4, trying to arrange passed pawn. Takes. b6. This wouldn't change anything. I think after c6, just this pawn matches through, and on c7 you cannot capture it because bishop protects it. So that's what happened. g5. I think these moves are a little bit too much for black. g4. g3 just takes, goes back, and in this position black resign, because if he takes here, then it's b2, takes, and white queens, white exchanged, and they are just piece up in the end game. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.